All right, now we're recording.
Okay.
All right. Today's day is Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. My name is Floyd Hurst. I'm here with what's your last name?
Leith, Angie Leigh.
I'm here with Angie Leigh. Angie, do you consent to being recorded?
I do.
All right, awesome. So I'm interviewing you as part of my internship with Carrollton Rainbow, to interview take oral histories of the Carrollton board and other members. Can you for the audience, can you give a brief description of what you do for Carrollton Rainbow as a board member?
I'm the secretary, so I take the notes when we have our board meetings, and I record them and I keep them in our permanent files for record of our board meetings.
All right. What kind of records?
We just keep everything on a Google Drive, just for prosperity, I guess, or like to look back on if we ever need to refer back to something.
Gotcha.
And I actually write them by hand in a notebook, and then I transcribe them because I am not good with taking notes in person on a computer.
Sense.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the board of Carrollton Rainbow?
Well, when I first moved to Carrollton, I came from Seattle, Washington, and I'm a massage therapist. I was giving Lucy a massage, and she's the founder of Carrollton Rainbow, and she had just started this Facebook group, and I'm really good at Facebook group moderation because I've had multiple Facebook groups for other things for years, and she knew that. I'm also the moderator for admin for the community gifting group here in Carrollton, and Lucy was like, "Hey, you're really good at moderating Facebook groups. Can you help me with this Facebook group I just started?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I was just sort of in the background as a moderator. And then I started volunteering with Free Mom Hugs and PFLAG. And I'd always kind of been representing those organizations by coming to meetings with Carrollton Rainbow when they started, like a real board. So I've always sort of been in the background. And then I left those groups and I became an insider in Carrollton Rainbow officially. And then a couple of years ago now, I guess it is, they asked me to be on the board since I'm really consistent at showing up and volunteering.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How would you say so coming from Seattle, how would you say that the culture of Carrollton differs from Washington and from the other places that you've lived?
So I'm from Alaska originally, and then I moved to Seattle and I lived there for 15 years. And when I first moved here, I don't know if it was like the culture or the fact that I was 40 when I moved here. It was harder to make friends, right?
Yeah.
So, and I also work for myself, and I think that like you make a lot of friends through work.
Right.
And so not having that as an environment, I had to throw myself into like meeting people who had the same values as me. So I really got into the queer community, even though I'm just an ally, because I know that our values would be similar. It's hard actually because the culture here is like basically living in a different country.
Right.
The communication style is completely different. I have a real hard time with people not thinking, I guess, I'm too brash or rough around the edges, but that's just the culture that I come from.
Right.
In Alaska especially, there's so many more men to women that you have to like basically, like, for lack of a better term, like man up, like you got to be like rough, you know, so that you aren't prey. And and here I think especially like there are people who are very like passive aggressive, which isn't a culture up in the Pacific Northwest. People, I guess, are just aggressive. So yeah, it was, that part is really hard. I've had a harder time with communication here than I've ever felt like I've had, but it's also kind of funny because I think that people think of Seattle as this very like land of milk and honey for queer people, like, oh, it's just all accepting, and it's like 100% not. It's very much like, I mean, like, I think that our pride events here in Carrollton and just really in general like are so much more like well received. Like, and it might be the passive aggressiveness where if people disagree, they're just like, oh, well, you know, they'll stay away. Whereas like in Seattle, they'll, you know, pepper spray a whole crowd of people. Well, protesters will. And then the cops will protect the protesters and not the attendees, you know? So, I think it's just kind of funny. I think that people here are very much more like open-minded than I think the stigma around the South gives it credit for. Being from a place where everybody's like, it's going to be great. And I'm like, it's not. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, actually. I think that people there there's a lot going on in Seattle. So, like, Seattle is very much a hub of, like, quote-unquote liberal values. And so and there's so many people condensed in that area that it actually swings the entire state blue. Whereas the majority of the state is actually very conservative.
Right.
And so I think that besides like this little corridor on the West Coast, basically from Seattle up to Bellingham is very like blue, but everything else is red. And so I think that there's a lot of like animosity towards the west side of Washington because it does change the entire vote of the state.
Right.
So it actually is like almost worse. Whereas like here, I think like everybody's like, except for when you get like really far out in the sticks, like because everything here is like super spread out, and I think that like you get these like more liberal pockets, sort of like Carrollton and like Douglasville and Atlanta. I think that the sprawl here really makes it a little bit easier in a way. Because everything in Seattle, you can't really have a lot of sprawl because there's ocean on one side and a giant lake on the other. So it's like you're basically like on an island that's connected by roads.
Right.
So yeah, a literal island.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been up to Seattle. I guess I probably would have assumed that it was very very liberal.
Yeah, it is and it's not. It's like it is, but it's also like there's a lot more like haterade than people really, I guess, recognize up there. I like it here. I like that here it was easier to find community, probably because of Facebook, but also just I feel like I've been able to make a lot more like change here than I would in Seattle. Because again, also the Seattle freeze is definitely a thing. Like you have your little friends, and we don't really like here. I think that people are easier at like, even though it's sort of like quote unquote fake, it's easier for people to be like, oh, hey, blah, 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 like talk, introduce themselves or have these little conversations. Where in Seattle, you're like, yeah, I don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, So yeah, the fakeness sort of almost kind of benefits people.
Yeah. Interesting. Did you you mentioned that you started off with Carrollton Rainbow because you moderated Facebook groups?
Yeah.
What kinds of Facebook groups did you moderate back in Washington and just in general?
Okay, so this is so funny, but like MLMs.
Mm-hmm.
I've been involved with them forever. I love them. I love the entire culture. I know it's stupid and weird, but like it's a really good way for me to meet friends, right?
Uh-huh.
And because I'm also like, obviously everybody knows, I guess everybody's a little neurospicy, but like I'm 46, so it wasn't diagnosed in women before, and that avenue of meeting friends is very like easy. So like probably in 2019, I joined Unique, which is a makeup company, and all of these women in my Unique group that I met are super nerds. So we were all really into Outlander, the show, and also like Harry Potter and all these other like different shows and stuff that we were like, now of course Harry Potter's super problematic, but it wasn't bad. It was a nice time.
It was a different time.
Before we knew stuff, yeah. So like I get into this group of like all these nerdy women who are just like super proud of being nerdy, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I started selling Unique, and how you did that at that time was you had a Facebook group. And so I'd have these like I still have mine. I put stuff up in it sometimes because I actually still sell Unique, which is funny, but because I just really like the makeup and my girlfriends, and also because I have this kind of like mothering thing. My friend Mary is my upline, quote unquote, and so when I sell, it makes her money, and I know she needs it, so I want to protect her basically. And so that's how I got into Facebook. And then I also, weirdly, so there was this thing called Buy Nothing. It's still around, but it's different. Buy Nothing was actually started in Seattle, and it's this like gifting group. And I became a mod for my Facebook group in Seattle, and the concept was very much like for neighborhoods. So like you could give free stuff to your neighbors within walking distance. And here that's really hard because everybody's so spread out.
Right.
But I was a mod, and then back then you had to take like a 2-week class to become an admin of a Buy Nothing group. Like it was intense.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did that, and I took this 2-week class, and I became this admin or whatever mod. And then one day I go to log on, and the actual admin leader had just like deactivated her Facebook account, which was against the rules. So I contacted like the regional, because it was this huge organization, and I'm like, I don't know where she went, blah blah. So she faked her own death. She ended up being like a hoarder. She was like pretending to be her own cousin and like moderating two groups. Yeah, it was crazy. So then I became the only admin after this whole thing was exposed. And I became really weird about it. Like the lady who became my co-admin, I was like, we need to meet at Starbucks. Like, I need to get eyes on you. Like, I need to know who you are in real life because this whole thing happened.
Right.
So, yeah, so then I became...
I would too.
Yeah, I was like, look, I have PTSD. So then I was like, okay, I'm moving to Georgia. I am not going to be part of Buy Nothing anymore. Like, I'm done. So I moved here. And of course, when you move, especially across the country, you bring all this crap that you don't need. So I'm unpacking, and I'm like, oh my God, why did I even pack this stuff? I need to get rid of it. Okay, I'm gonna go on and see if there's a Buy Nothing group here. There was, but it was very like not popular.
Yeah.
And like a big dum-dum, and me just being a little joiner, I was like, I contacted the admin. I was like, oh hey, I was an admin in my group in Seattle. Like I could help you because my group was super active. Blah blah. And she was like, great. For 2 weeks later, I go onto that group. That lady's dipped. So I was like, nope. Now I run the whole group. Because there was a schism within, like, you know how like churches, like there's an evil side and now an good side. That's sort of what happened to Buy Nothing. Buy Nothing had a schism, and now like the good, quote unquote, in my opinion, the good side, we had to change our name. So I'm Community Gifting of Carrollton now, and like I just run it alone. So like I'm just like, look, I don't need a co-admin. I'm good. So I still am pretty active on Facebook in that way, and also obviously I still moderate for Carrollton Rainbow.
How does your other Facebook groups differ from Carrollton Rainbow, like in culture and like how you actually run them?
I think that because I have so much more help with Carrollton Rainbow, like we all are really involved, and like we, do these scheduled posts and stuff like that, and also we as a group talk in real life about things that are happening in that group. I think it's so much more better run that way because it's like real people talking to real people around a real table. And like we have our meetings at the Corner Cafe, and so like we often talk about like, okay, like is this person problematic, or how did this person get in, and like what should we post about, blah blah blah. So I think that Carrollton Rainbow is ran very much more like as a group, whereas my other Facebook groups were just me. So like my unique group was obviously just my friends buying makeup from me, so that one was very like easy. And then Community Gifting, I'm a little bit lazy with that group now because it sort of runs itself, but I do have to go in there because there are very specific rules, like you can't give away animals, which is like a thing that I don't believe in because I just don't want animals to be given away for free. Yeah. And so that's my own personal thing that I just don't allow. And so that's, again, why I don't have a co-admin, because I always tell people, like, if this, like, community gifting isn't a democracy, it's a cheerocracy, and I am head cheerleader. So yeah, to quote the movies. Anyway, so yeah, I don't, like, Carrollton Rainbow obviously is more of a group project, whereas my other Facebook groups are just me. I'm the queen of them.
What do you mean when you say that Carrollton Giving runs itself?
Carrollton Community Gifting runs itself in that people just go on there, and most of the people in the group now know that I'm pretty strict, so they don't like really. New people sometimes will try to bend the rules, and then I'll give them like a warning. Like I don't have as many issues as I used to in that group when I first took it over, because I was obviously being very strict, and I am still, but now they police themselves. And because I'm so lazy, I don't really let in as many new people as I used to. Because also Facebook has changed where I can't do like a whole bunch of messages at one time. So I can only, I think, let in 10 people at a time. So I always have like a big backlog of people who want to come in. Right. And then I go through often and I'll eliminate people who have either deactivated their Facebook, like they don't have a profile picture anymore or anything like that. And then so I even it out that way. So it just does, it's sort of like a self-cleaning like oven. It just does its thing. I don't really have to moderate it or anything as much as I used to, because I established again that there isn't going to be a vote. like I used to have a lot of people who wanted to argue with me about stuff, and I'd be like, okay, delete, like, and then they're gone. I'm just like, no, I'm not arguing about anything. There isn't anything to argue about. This is my group. Like you don't have a say. So yeah. Whereas in Carrollton Rainbow, obviously people do have a say. There's the whole board has a say, so I can't be as weird as I can in my other groups.
Yeah, I guess that gives you less freedom.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, which is good. I mean, the way Carrollton Rainbow works, it does need more of a like a group effort and a group, and also because I am just an ally, like I try to remind myself that like my place is just to like be helpful,
right,
rather than be like a bossy bitch, which I can totally be in community gifting, because again, I'm the queen, I'm the head cheerleader. Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
Cool.
Like, if I don't like you, I don't let you in. Like, I mean, honestly, like, if there's, like, I mean, it sucks, but, like, if your profile is distasteful to me, I just delete you. I just say no for no reason. I don't give you a reason. I just am like, nah, we're good. If I think, like, you can tell kind of from people's profiles if they're going to be problematic, and I just am like, I'm not about that life. If their profile looks weird, I just say no. So, yeah, that's how I keep it real clean in there, because I'm like, ew, no.
Do you ever have to have to block people from the Carrollton Rainbow Facebook page in that way?
Yeah, because we have a real strict like no politics, and it's for two reasons. One is because we're a nonprofit, so there's just like certain things we can't do. Yeah, and then also it's just like it just isn't making any fun. Like people need a break sometimes, and like we all know the issues, like. And so if you want to come in there and just like kind of like stir the shit, like it's God's work, like you're God with a big shit stirring spoon, we're just like, what are you doing? Like, you take all the fun out of it. And so, I mean, again, we also like, because we're a nonprofit, like there's certain things we just can't do. We would have to completely change the like legal makeup of our nonprofit to like be political. I can't remember. It's like a C3. It's like the letters change, So we're a 501c3, and I think it changes it to a different number if you end up being like a political nonprofit, and I don't know really how that works, but like
interesting.
Yeah, like I'm sure Lucy and Frank know more about that because Lucy set it up. So yeah, and it just was like it just becomes like very like I don't know, contentious and like exhausting. And if you want to be involved in those type of things, then like great, there's like tons of groups out there,
right,
that do that stuff, and we're just like we just want to have like a nice group where people can like share the movies they're watching,
right,
go and have coffee together, and like go have dinner together, and just be chill, like just a place to be like, oh, I want to make a friend, like we don't, and like be involved in my community in a way that's like a good time, like Pride,
right,
and Pride in itself is political,
right,
and so like, but it's political in the way that's just like love, and like that in itself is a political stance, but it's not like in your face like, oh, you need to vote for this guy and blah blah blah, or like we need to get involved in this issue and go protest. So, like that's not everybody's jam, and we just don't want to like make anybody feel like they have to be into that. Like I used to go to like big Pride in Seattle. I've never been to Atlanta Pride. Since I've gotten older, I'm super agoraphobic in that way. Like, I handle, like, Carrollton Pride because we have a couple thousand people there. I'm like, great. And I keep myself so busy as the volunteer coordinator, because I'm the volunteer coordinator also, that I can almost, like, zone out, and I don't have to, like really rationalize how many people are there.
Right.
And now I'm like, I would never go to a protest. Like, it's too many people in too small of a space. Like, I just don't really like that, and my whole thing is like I protest in my own way by helping organize Pride, which in itself, again, it's a protest of love,
right?
Like so, like yeah, I'm just like I'm not gonna go and like hold a sign or anything, right? I'm like I'm good, right? No thanks. Also, people smell, and Georgia's way too hot.
Yeah.
Yuck. No, thank you.
So, how many times how often did you go to Seattle Pride?
Oh, when I first moved there, I was only 25. And so the funniest thing is I was in the first, maybe only Pride Parade in Fairbanks. So when I was a kid, I started going to this UCC church before I just deconstructed, basically. And, I was the only, me and I think a couple other people were the only straight people in this entire church. It was just like a gay church, and we met in the Methodist church and in the afternoon, and then me and my ex-husband actually got married by that church. I was in the first ever and maybe only Pride Parade that Fairbanks ever had. I just have always been an activist for queer people in general. Like, one of my best friends is queer, and I don't know if that's like how I'm a big justice warrior, which now I think again is part of my autism, but like I just am like I don't I'm very black and white.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the other side. I really don't respect their opinion.
Right.
I'm just like, like, you're wrong. So, like, because again, like, why are you policing people's lives?
Right.
It's super weird. And so, yeah, I just have always really, really been involved in, like, queer stuff, even though, again, as I've been telling people this a lot lately, like, I know being queer isn't a choice because I'm straight. And I love my husband, but, like, I have always kind of been like, God, I wish it could be like a little gay. You know, like, it would make me more interesting. Like, I'd give me a little clout in the community. But I'm not. I just can't make myself be attracted to...
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not like I'm making a choice, you know? And so, so I've always just really been involved because I've just always felt like it's just been, like, something that, like, why can't you just mind your own business? Like, why does it matter to you, you know? And it's like the same thing to me as like racism. It's like, it's so dumb.
Right.
Like, it's just so stupid. And I want people to be more evolved. Like, it's really ridiculous. So when I first moved to Seattle, and I think in 2005, Seattle really was a bit of a like land of milk and honey. It was a different time. I mean, like, it was still like grunge was still a thing. Every bar had music. Now it's gotten really techie and bro-y and weird, you know, but like back then it was like dirty, but like in a good way. And I would go to Pride and like people were dancing naked in fountains. Like, it was crazy. And it was just like being from such a tiny small town in Fairbanks, Alaska, which is so removed from everything else. I was like, this is amazing. And back then I wasn't as aware of my own body. So I probably was having sort of like mild panic stuff, you know, or like anxiety stuff, but I wasn't like able to tap into what was happening.
Right.
And so, yeah, I just go and like, I loved it. And also, you know, I had friends who went, so it was just a thing like, oh, we're going to Pride. So, yeah. And I was a bartender too at this theater in downtown Seattle.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it was very, obviously theater's super gay. And I was like, just a bartender. So I was a fly on the wall there. And we would always, like, a lot of my friends from the theater would go and do things, you know, go, and so I'd meet them there. And also Pride in Seattle is like a whole month, so like every bar has like a Pride situation, and yeah, so it's a lot of like going out and doing things back, you know, when my brain was still like, yeah, that sounds like a great time. Now I'm like, ugh, yuck. Nope.
How does that differ from the experience of Pride here?
Well, I mean, there was a Pride here, I guess, before I moved here, but So I moved here in October of 2020. So the first Pride that Carrollton Rainbow had, really, I was with PFLAG or Free Mom Hugs. I can't remember the timeline. I think it was just Free Mom Hugs. But it was just Free Mom Hugs at that time. So I worked a booth that one, and like I, you know, tried to help as much as I could. I work full time, so, you know, at that time especially, and now it's harder for me to volunteer as much time as I'd like because I have a job. But yeah, so I've been involved in Pride here basically since we started it up. And I like to be helpful, and I don't have any kids, so I have more.
Right.
You know, I can, when I do dedicate the little bit of time outside of work that I have, I pretty much all do for Carrollton Rainbow. And I like it because it's just like a small community and we can see it grow every year.
Yeah.
Like the first one we ever had was at the 4 a.m. coffee cafe. It was in the back parking lot, and it was just like super small, and like we hire police officers to, you know, do our security and stuff, and it was so fun to see like the Carrollton police officers be curious and very like open-minded and kind to this thing that was very foreign to them, you know?
Right.
And just like watching people who I think probably would have never gone into like Atlanta Pride, just experience that it's just a bunch of people who are just want to experience, like, just want to have fun and be cool, and like, I don't know, it's a good time. It's, you know, it's all about love and rainbows and stickers. Like, how can you not get into that? Like, yeah, I love it.
Y'all hired police officers?
Yeah, we still do. In fact, we do, now that we have it on campus, the campus police, I don't know if we have to hire them or not, but we still hire, I think, 2 Carrollton police officers, 2 or 3, to patrol our, so we pay them, like, the way the police department works, I don't know if it's like every police department or Carrollton specifically, I think it's every police department. Anyway, like, so they get paid for their regular shifts, right? And then they can, like, pick up, like, extra shifts doing, like, security for different events, and then they get paid more money. And then we actually pay them, too. So it's a way for the police officer to make a little side hustle money, basically, going to them. So like Officer Chad Kirsch, he's always done, since we had the 4 a.m. one, he's one that we've always hired to come and hang out with us, and they're always really sweet and kind, and it just makes the whole event feel safer knowing that there are actually like Carrollton police officers there.
Has that ever caused like problems at Pride?
No, I think it makes people feel a lot better and safer.
Interesting.
Yeah, and also, I mean, specifically like Chad, for me, I always bullshit with him the whole time that we're hanging out there because I'm the volunteer coordinator, so I'm always kind of walking around. And I mean, he very much is like curious and kind, and you know, I know that he's definitely looking out for the participants. It just makes me feel a lot better knowing that he's there. Whereas, like I was saying, like my friend who still lives in Seattle told me that this year at Seattle Pride, protesters came and pepper sprayed the actual attendees.
Oh God.
Yeah, and the police protected the protesters.
Oh God.
Yeah, like not the attendees. And so like the difference is that like here, because we're such a small town, like the police that we hire like are there to protect the attendees. Like they know why they're there.
Yeah.
You know, like, and they walk around and I think they have a good time too. I mean, because it's a fun event. You know,
right.
So like there's food there, there's lots of people just hanging out, and it's inside of the ballroom in the university and then also into Love Field, and so it's nice because it's air conditioned,
right?
You know? And then we have the big pride show, our big drag show in the evening, which is always really well. The first time we had it was last year. It was crazy well attended. So, and he hung out the whole time. He patrolled for the drag show as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, he sat at the door, and yeah, it was really fun. And I was teasing him. I'm like, "Is this your first drag show?" And he was like, "Yes." So I was like, "Yeah, well, welcome." Have a blast. He's like, yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, I'm like, it's always been just a really fun experience that makes it even more fun knowing that the cops are there to make sure that everything is on the up and up, you know.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
So we've got about 3 minutes left of our time.
Okay.
So before I let you go, can you we mostly talked about your role as in like the Facebook group. Could you also describe what you do as the volunteer coordinator, and specifically at Pride?
Oh yeah, I just am the one who advertises that we need volunteers. I have a group me where I put all of the people who are interested in volunteering. And that's where we have our little chat. And then I usually do like sort of like a dinner, like pizza, where I tell everybody kind of what their roles are going to be. They sign up for shifts. So I want there to be like, I want there to be time for people to actually enjoy Pride. So I either have them do like the first shift or the second shift. And then they work, you know, I can have them work the door, work the parking lot, all these different little jobs. I have them, people be floaters. And I just sort of like tell them what their job's going to do. I give them their t-shirts. I make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Just sort of like make sure that we have enough volunteers and that every job is covered. And, you know, people like it because they get a free t-shirt.
Right.
Why would you not want to volunteer? And then, we try to like, you know, feed them, and we give them little goodie bags and stuff like that. So I help coordinate all that.
Do we get a lot of volunteers?
Yeah, actually we pretty do. Last year, it's kind of funny. I think we probably had maybe a dozen volunteers. Like sometimes I actually have too many. Like I don't have anything for them to do, but they still get the t-shirt and everything.
Right.
And they'll come and be like, "What is there to do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, what do you want to do?" Like, because a lot of it I have like we just like really want our like so a lot of one of the jobs I have them do is walk around and make sure that the volunteer tables have water, that they have bathroom breaks. So that's the thing. Like at a different events that I've been to, that I've worked, if you're at your booth by yourself, there's nobody to watch your table so that you can go pee.
Right.
Or even run and get something to eat, or like, you know, do a sweep of the event so that you can see the other booths. Like basically just get like a break, you know?
Right.
And so I have my volunteers sit at their tables. Like I'm like, learn how to work their square or whatever that they're taking for payments. And, you know, like sit there for them so that they can do these things and actually enjoy the event and not, you know, especially the tables that are outside. I'm like, they need to go inside and get some air conditioning, get some water, or pee, you know, do all the things. Because, like, I've done tables by myself, like for free mom hugs, and I did one at the Ag Center where I literally had to leave early. I got really heat sick because I was alone, and there was nobody to, like, take my place. So I called my husband. My legs were all swollen up. I was like, no, it was bad. And I was like, I got to just pack up and leave.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I don't want any of our tables to ever have that happen. So I make sure that my volunteers will cover their table for as long as it takes. Because, yeah, I'm like, no, we don't need anybody getting heat sick. Like,
right.
You know, like no sunstroke at Pride. That's not fun. Yeah, so that's just what I do. I just sort of like, I'm like the wrangler of cats, you know, just like, you do this, you do that, blah, 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 and like, where are you, blah, blah, blah. And I give them little walkie-talkies, which everybody loves a walkie-talkie.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fun.
Walkie-talkies are cool.
They are. They're so cool. And you're just like, what's your 20 over? So, yeah, it's great. Yeah.
All right, we're at 30 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, great.
Awesome. Do you have any closing statements before I shut off the recorder?
No, I just wish that more people, like more allies, would be involved in Carrollton Rainbow or the queer community in general, because I feel like a lot of people just feel like, oh, maybe it's not my place to be involved.
Yeah.
But I think that the more allies that get involved, the more normalized everything becomes, and I
agree.
You know, and I just think that like everybody should be involved in spreading love. Like there isn't like a barrier or like I feel like a lot of allies feel like maybe like that they're stepping on toes, but I just think that you're not. You're just supporting people that you love and care about. And even if they think that there's not anybody in their life that might be queer, there is.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, that's 100% impossible.
Right.
So like, you know, be like the more open and supportive you are, the more safe that your loved ones and stuff will feel to come to you.
Right.
Stuff. So just get involved and put on your rainbow shirt and have a good time. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, I'm gonna turn off the recorder now.